As it approaches 9:02, in honor of those who died, we will recognize the 168 seconds of silence.
On the one-year anniversary of the bombing, we had a get-together at the bomb site where all of the families and survivors gathered. We walked to the Murrah Convention Center where we were to have a gathering there.
I remember when we walked down to the Murrah as a group and how the people came out of their buildings and lined the streets.
And I'll forever be moved by that show of support to us with all the people and their sorrow on our behalf.
They had a special part of the program after the main event where the rescue workers and the families of the survivors and victims got to meet.
We were extremely moved to be able to put a face with the people that tried so diligently to help us.
There was no precedent for memorializing a tragedy so soon after its occurrence, when raw emotions integral to the healing and grieving process are so elevated. And yet, we solicited the participation of those most directly affected by the tragedy and proceeded with sensitivity to promote healing, build trust, and develop a widespread consensus.
After the bombing, the memorial process, the actual memorial itself at the end, has been one that we can all be very, very proud of.
For the first several months, our focus was not on the physical form of the memorial, but rather on what the objectives of the memorial should be. The most important milestone of the memorial process occurred in March of 1996, when the mission statement, including the objectives of the memorial, was adopted by a remarkable unanimous vote. Time and again, we have relied on the mission statement as the cornerstone guidance document for the creation of the memorial. The mission statement mandated that the memorial include a symbolic memorial, an interactive learning center, and an institute for the prevention of terrorism. In November 1996, we launched an international design competition to discover the design of the symbolic memorial. It became the most widely participated international design competition ever held. Again, we were reminded that the tragedy which occurred here affected the hearts of people all over the world.
There's something in every design that hits you. I couldn't eliminate, right now I couldn't eliminate a single one or choose a single one. We literally have a warehouse full of designs from 23 different countries, all 50 states. We're told people care, and people care all over the world. This proves it.
The design team that submitted the winning proposal included Tori Butzer, an Oklahoma native, her husband Hans Butzer, and Sven Borg.
We will never forget them.
In October 1998, we began the physical process of rebuilding, as thousands of people, including the Attorney General and the Vice President of the United States, took part in a formal groundbreaking for the symbolic memorial.
Today, in the dark shadow of memory, we gather to seek the light, to find in this soil, nourished with a million tears, the harvest of God's healing grace.
Sometimes we do go to the fence and put some objects there, like my father's picture or any small thing that we think we want him to see.
It was an ordinary chain-link fence, originally installed to protect the property where the Murrah Building once stood. But, in a way, it became a national shrine.
When I felt empty, I would go walk the fence. People from not only all over this country, but from all over the world left messages, poetry.
As a symbol of worldwide love and caring, the fence provided tremendous comfort and peace for family members, survivors, and rescuers. That's why we came together the day after the formal groundbreaking for a ceremony to physically move the sections of the fence to the permanent location on the west side of the memorial grounds.
We live in a country where freedom of speech is cherished, and there are other avenues besides violence to achieve an end.
The way is to be part of that community and make changes from within.
If you see problems, to go through the channels and affect the change the way that you should affect changes through that political process.
Get involved in the process at whatever level you feel comfortable.
It's an obligation of adulthood to make society better, to make life better for the people around you.
The goodness of the people of Oklahoma is what that memorial's about. It's to celebrate the people and how they came together to overcome such a tragedy.
I don't think the bombing changed Oklahoma or Oklahoma City. I think it did reveal us.
It didn't matter what color you were, your skin was. Everybody came together and helped each other out.
I think people saw not only hell, but they saw what heaven should be.
Seeing what people of good intentions did during the bombing and are seeking to do now gives me a sense of hope.
The memorial itself is a beautiful example of how people, in spite of their depression, their anger, would work their way through this concrete idea of the creation of a memorial.
I really do believe that if people understand the nature of what's happened, look beyond the initial contingencies, we can help as a living memorial, maybe be fortunate to prevent some future incidents.
It's hard to believe, looking at this peaceful place, that this was the scene of horrifying chaos 5 years ago when a truck bomb exploded at 9:02 a.m., immediately shattering the innocence of this city and the entire nation.
We come here to remember those who were killed, those who survived, and those changed forever. May all who leave here know the impact of violence. May this memorial offer comfort, strength, peace, hope, and serenity.
We are standing on holy ground.
The Oklahoma Water Resources Board family remembers.
The United States
Trudy,
Secret Service family remembers.
Social Security
Alan
Administration family remembers our co-workers and our customers.
This was 168 distinct individuals, all of them with families, all of them with friends, all of them unique. And that's what I want people to know.
If people didn't die in vain, they will be remembered, and it will go in history.
I certainly hope people that visit the site will go away with a resolve to do whatever they can that it won't happen again.
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back.
There's a whole generation of young men and women who are out there, young men and women of goodwill and commitment who are really dedicated to address these issues of violence in a positive way.
In an effort to fight terrorism, we must collectively stand our ground. We always must remember what happened in Oklahoma City, and each of us must take responsibility to make a difference.
May God hold you in the palm of His hand.
Out of chaos has arisen a coming together of people of all walks of life to memorialize this tragedy in a manner which is indeed unique in America's history.
On April 19, 1995, our many strands became one in love and support for you, and in our determined opposition to terrorism.
I remember those cold searchlights
looking down on the building, I think about the warm glow of the lights from the memorial. We call it our beacon of hope. And for me, it is a real juxtaposition from those harsh searchlights to the warm glow of the memorial.